This video is probably going to piss a lot of people off, but there's one skill that you need in cybersecurity, and it's not what you think it is. My name is CW InfoSec, and I am creating hacking and cybersecurity content with an educational and career focus. So what does that mean? So what that means is I put out content, interview content with people that I know or people that I am familiar with in the industry, and I ask them questions. I ask them, hey, how did you get to the job that you got? What was your path there? What kind of training did you need? What were the struggles that you had to deal with? And like it really started out as me just kind of chit-chatting with my friends from the internet. So and it's grown into like this new thing, and now people are messaging me out of the blue, and they're like, "Hey, CW InfoSec, I saw your video, and it helped me a ton. Thanks, man." And I really appreciate feedback like that. I really do. I'm happy that content that I put out helps you and helps your life. So, what is that skill? What is the only skill that I need in information security? The only skill that you actually need to survive in this field is resilience. I know that sounds a little strange, but I have a couple of stories to tell about why resilience is the only skill that you need. So if you've seen my content before, you probably have a pretty good clue of who I am and what I'm about. But if this is your first time here, I started my career in the military, specifically in the Air Force. I went a lot of places. I met a lot of people. I did a lot of things. Yeah, straight up, I've dealt with a lot of bullshit in my life. And that's not just from the Air Force. I'm kind of starting there to paint a picture. I have a mentor and a very good friend. We'll call them Sarah. Sarah had been on a deployment to Afghanistan before I met him. And Sarah was faced with some very difficult decisions that left him permanently messed up afterward. And, like he had a different energy about him from what I was used to. He was a type A personality, even with his struggles, and he just dealt with what he was going through. He just kept going, and I dug that. I had never met someone like that before in my entire life. So I had a very good mentor. But in that same work center, we had some dirt bags. So we'll call this particular person Sergeant Bozo, because I have no respect for this person at all. Had a personal vendetta against me because no idea, absolutely no idea. But he was a huge butthole to me, and Sergeant Bozo would intentionally make me do work that I wasn't interested in because I was an airman and I couldn't say no. So there was a lot of time wasted. There was a lot of time wasted by people like Sergeant Bozo. And so where does resilience come into this? So Sergeant Bozo calls me into his office one day because he was our unit's deployment manager. So he was in charge of telling people, "Hey, you're going to Afghanistan. You're going to wherever." And he disliked me so much that this particular day that he called me into his office, he said, CW InfoSec, you just don't know what you're doing. You didn't know what you were doing when I was in your work center supervising you, and I don't know what you're doing now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you to South Korea for a month-long exercise where you will not have fun. You won't be doing anything that you were trained on. And you're going to go there, you're going to do exactly what you're told, and then you're coming back, and then you're immediately going on a deployment again. And if I have a say in it, I'm going to put you on a joint tasking so that you come back up like Sarah. So I had told Sarah about this. I even told my managers about this. I was like, hey, look, Sergeant Bozo is being a piece of trash to me. Like, if you're not going to get rid of him, like, move me somewhere else. Because, like, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of people like Sergeant Bozo out there, and not just in the military. So what happened? Here's what happened. I went on that TDY to South Korea, and I worked my ass off for a month. And at one point during that exercise, it rained, and I spent 3 days with 4 or 5 other people digging like a 10,000-pound satellite trailer out of the mud. So I went there, I did it, I didn't complain about it. And matter of fact, I learned a lot about myself from that. And so I came back, and I did exactly what I was told. I went on another deployment, but here's the thing. I knew someone. I had someone in my corner. I had Sarah. And I told Sarah, look, I'm not going to run away from a deployment. If Uncle Sam wants me to go, I will go. But if you can make it so that I have a say in where I go, I would greatly appreciate it. And he did. That's what he did for me. He made it so that I had a say in where I went. So I went to a freaking hellhole of a sandbox, like 115-degree heat every day in the middle of summer, like wild animals running all over the place, stealing my food and stuff. Working the night shift, again, working a job that I didn't care about, and I wasn't learning anything, and it was never going to do anything for me. And so again, I'm still there. I'm still studying on my free time this entire time. All of these years, I am still studying on my free time. I'm still grinding toward OSCP. I'm still learning the pen testing methodology. I'm still coding. I'm doing all of this stuff while dealing with all of this bullshit from people like Sergeant Bozo. So that's like the first step of becoming resilient. You got to recognize where the problem is coming from. You know, is it something else? Is it out of your control, or is it in your control? And you got to act accordingly. The point of the story is, this isn't a bad industry. Like we have some rotten apples in our industry for sure. Overall, I would say it's good. But the important part is, if you sincerely believe that you can accomplish your goal, whatever it may be, stick to it. Hold yourself accountable. Have other people hold you accountable for it. It'll make your life much better. Having people in your corner, or having at least finding some kind of strength in yourself to deal with this stuff, because you got to understand. You got to understand, it's your life. Unless if you are lucky and you have a great family and a great support network. If you're like most people, you are probably going to be the only person in your corner 99% of the time. You got to get comfortable with being alone. You have to get comfortable with missing people. You have to get comfortable with dealing with hard situations that you may not have ever been exposed to, or even know the answer how to deal with it. You just got to have a little bit of confidence in yourself, and you got to believe in yourself and tell yourself that you can do it. It goes against like pretty much everything that everybody else says, but I'll put it like this. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to? Put it like that. I do. Even if I don't know you, I believe in you. You're in good hands here. You're in good hands in my network. you're probably in good hands in my network's network. So there's more than one way from where you start to where you want to be in information security. There's no formal path. There's no set path. You don't have to do, X certification or have held Y position previously. You don't have to. What you do have to do is you have to be willing to know when to stop pursuing something that's not benefiting you. And you have to know when you're being the problem. And when other people are being the problem, you have to believe in yourself that you can handle it and handle it appropriately on that note. Because there are ways where resilience can go wrong. So that's probably a discussion for another day. But if you like this style of content, leave a comment below, send me a DM on Twitter, reach out to me wherever. I'm always happy to talk about this kind of stuff. Getting thick skin is hard. Getting thick skin is incredibly difficult, but if you can manage to do it, or if you can manage to avoid bad situations entirely, let me know. But yeah, honestly, it's just believing in yourself and having a little bit of resilience when things don't go your way. That's all it takes. As easy as that. Peace.